Hello guys, this is a pre-market analysis of 17th of July. Okay, so let's see what are the important developments. So yesterday's market, it was Sensex expiry, and as expected, the move we got, and I have already explained the two trades that I got yesterday. One at 1:30 and the other at 3 o'clock, where I'm able to double the premium. In fact, the view was clearly discussed in the pre-market analysis also. So we are going to get a resistance at 24,200 level. So I started off with a straddle and then I sold call at 24,200 level. But when it comes to the put, when I started getting the momentum, when the VWAP, when the strike price VWAP is taken out, I have sold, I have bought the put, and that's where I'm able to capture the move. Okay, so that's the trade that I've updated yesterday. Now let's look at today's market scenario. Again, the range will be 24,000 to 24,200 itself, because 24,000 is a very good support. 24,200 is a major resistance, and the entire world as of now know, because last few days, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, I think market have taken support. Whenever it comes to 24,000, only one day when there was a panic selling, it broke 24,000 and went till 23,800. Rest of the days, if you see market moving to 24,200, and on one day it went to 24,250 and made a double top there. Otherwise, 24,200 is the resistance. So the market is consolidating in this range. So sellers, it is going good, and buyers, if you are getting that trade very correct, when the momentum is coming, you will be making money. Otherwise, it's the time decay. So still the geopolitical issues are the same. And now GIFT Nifty is indicating, GIFT Nifty is trading at around, let me see, where is it trading? Yeah, GIFT Nifty is around 24,080. Yeah, GIFT Nifty is around 24,080. That means it's a flat opening. Nifty closed at around 24,070. So even if you give 20-point premium, it may be 10-point gap down, 10, 20-point gap down, or it's a flat opening. Okay. So let's look at what are the major developments. So we need to discuss this GIFT Nifty and ADRs. I'll discuss this reason for US semiconductor sell-off also, and the US Iran development. So as I told you, we are going to get a gap, small gap down or flat opening. There won't be much big upside or downside. So it will be like, if it is opening around 24,100, I could have started with a straddle, because either side it can go, either 24,000 or 24,100. But if by any chance you are getting around 24,000, right, very close to 24,000, that's an opportunity to buy, because it's not an expiry day, neither Sensex nor Nifty. So there is a possibility that the market can give one side move, at least till afternoon. So if morning, in the first 30 minutes itself, if by any chance coming to 24,000, we are looking for a buy on dip scenario. Rest of the things also I will discuss. Infosys ADR is positive, almost 4%. That means that's indicating 2% fresh arbitrage. There will be a fresh positive difference here. Wipro ADR is also positive. So IT may stay strong. So when you get such a flat opening, if there is any dip, that's going to be a good buying opportunity. And 24,000 close to that, if you get, you can buy, and you can hold at least till 24,100, 150 level also. There is no need to do scalping. And afternoon, what we have seen is yesterday FII sold for around 4,500 crore. So there may be a continuation. Afternoon is where you can see that FII sell-off also. So if you look at banking ADR, HDFC is also positive 0.5%, ICICI is also positive 0.5%. So both are indicating, in fact, positive arbitrage, though it is marginal. So banking side, ADRs are positive, though it is marginal. IT is strongly positive, 2% ADR. Arbitrage difference itself was there, positive of 4%. So that means we may get a positive bias today, right? So when you're getting a flat opening, it is good to buy, but I don't want to take chance. When I get flat opening, honestly, for my personal trades, I consider that is around non-directional at around 24,100 level. So I start with a straddle. As a buyer, what I need to do is, rather than chasing immediately at the open, I wait for the dip close to 24,000. I buy, and then I can hold it for 24,100 also. That's what we are seeing, because just below 24,000, if it is breaking, that's your stop loss also, right? So Wipro results also, that's revenue, if you see, increased around 1%, which is good. Net profit is slightly less, 4.7% negative. That is, operating margin also declined to 16%. If you compare it with the previous quarter, it was around 17.3%. But the very positive is there is a large deal bookings, right? So around US dollar 1.63 billion, which is something 12.9% positive on quarter to quarter. So headline results are, if you look at it, it's below the expectation, but the strong deal booking that may remain key positive, and that's what you see in the arbitrage difference or in the ADR also. Now, if you look at semiconductor stock, that again remained heavily under pressure. If you look at this there is a strong double-digit profit growth you can see, and high capital expenditure guidance is also there. So the semiconductor performance, again, if you look at this major stocks like SK Hynix and Korea, that's around 13% down. Micron is 5% down. AMD is 5% down. Nvidia is 2.5% down. But we don't have too much impact semiconductor stock, but still IT sectors will have an impact. Now, because of this, if you look at US indices, it's slightly down. US markets like Dow Jones is 0.2% down, S&P is 0.5% down, Nasdaq is 1.5% down. Nasdaq is related to the IT and semiconductor stocks, and also that is basically very big down, right? 1.5%. And US VIX also jumped around 7%, and it's near around 17. So the global momentum as of now remains weak. We are getting flat opening. There are some local positivity, but global momentum is not that great. Now, if you look at US-Iran update also, US have launched strike on fifth consecutive day, and Trump also stated that military operations will continue until Iran agrees to negotiate. But Iran's response is very clear. Iran, in fact, instructed Houthis to prepare to disrupt the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. So if US attack any Iranian power infrastructure, Houthis is another the kind of revolutionary group in Yemen, like Hezbollah in Lebanon. These are allies of Iran. So they can run the proxy war. Proxy war means not direct, but indirect. Instead of Iran attacking directly, Houthis can attack for Iran. Lebanon can attack for it. But Lebanon, anyway, Israel is attacking Lebanon left, right, center, and reduce their power and everything. But Houthis are still very powerful. Even Houthis have all these supersonic and cruise missiles and everything. Even they have launched it to Israel, and it strike Israel in Tel Aviv also. So Houthis are powerful. You can't underestimate. So Iran, if they ask Houthis to do it, Houthis definitely will attack on the strait, and there also disruptions can be there. So that will again create energy issue. So the latest ship movement through Strait of Hormuz, if you see, it's just 9 ships which closed last day. Previous day, it's 11 that I've discussed already. And I told you average is around 60, but it is way below the average. That is also not good. Also, Iran have released an American citizen which they have detained since 2024. And Trump described this as a goodwill gesture. So that's a positive diplomatic signal. But still, there is no ceasefire, no reopening of agreement, no formal negotiation breakthrough or anything. Now, if you look at the crude prices, WTI slightly came down from 80 to 79. Brent is from 85 to 84. Roughly US dollar one per barrel. You can see 80 to 79. That is also a positive gesture actually. Now, these are the main things. If you look at institutional activity yesterday, FIIs were net sellers 4,200 crore and DIIs were net buyers, almost absorbed but not fully 3,000 crore. But still, there is a net institutional selling of around 1,200 crore. So FII sold yesterday. That's why I told you if there is a bounce in the afternoon, if you get it around 24, 180, 200 level, that is going to be a sell opportunity. If FIIs again come and join you, then you will get a good opportunity. But the problem is if you enter in the morning and then keep waiting, that's not the right thing. When you start seeing the momentum, when you start identifying that, yes, FIIs is now coming, then market is picking up on the downside. Like the VWAP of the strike price, VWAP need to be broken on the upside. Then you enter. That is where you get the quick momentum. Otherwise, there is of no use. You will only lose in terms of time. Right? Otherwise, once it comes to 24,000, you buy. So mark these levels, enter once you get momentum from that area, when you see a reversal signal from that area. Again, if you look at the open interest, call open interest is 9% and put open interest is 10%. That means PCR is almost flat, 0.95. Right? So it's a range bound positioning is what you can expect. So market is opening around 2470. So it may fluctuate in that range only. Participant positioning also, if you see retailers 17.7% bullish, FIIs same 17.3% bearish, prop traders remain neutral. So there are not much positives except this banking ADR and Infosys ADR, and the crude oil prices also came down. These are positive. Negative, US semiconductor sell-off, not much impact, but still will have some collateral damage on it. And weak US indices. Global momentum is gone. US-Iran military escalation is the heavy FII selling, and now GIFT Nifty is indicating some small gap down. All these are negatives that you need to keep a watch on. So keep all these points in mind and trade responsibly. If you look at the open interest data, call open interest maximum is at 24,200 because the entire world know that's the most important resistance. Now the support is at 24,000. Now 24,200 is broken, means 24,300 is where the next highest writing, and further 24,500. So 24,200, 300 is where the call sellers are active. 24,000, 23,800 is where the put sellers are highly active. So this is the range that we are looking for, 24,000 to 24,200. So trade responsibly, trade carefully. And if you would like to learn this in the live market with our community, we have the live market mentoring program where I trade and I explain my trade. You'll be able to watch that. You'll be able to learn that. Not a trade call providing program or not, because whatever trade I take, it is based on my trades, my risk appetite, my capital. Yours may not be the same, but if it is for learning purpose, you can get in touch with our team. You can join the session. You can watch all the trades. You can see the logic. You can see somehow someone is trading, professionally, and you can learn from that. So see you there. Thank you.